Thank y'all for tuning in to the Two T's in the Pod
Um,
podcast. And this is our pilot episode. I am T1. I go by Moti. And then next to me, I got T2.
T2, Thailand,
Yes.
Tylenol.
Tylenol.
Remember that? Yeah, no, we're gonna go with
Ooh.
Thai.
We're just gonna go with
We're gonna go
Ty. I
with
like
Thai.
that.
Yeah,
It
we're gonna go with
works
Thai.
though. But if you went with Tylenol, I wouldn't hold you.
Take me till you doze off.
Ooh, burr, burr, burr,
Bam, bam, bam,
burr, with the
bam.
bars. So
I got bars.
Oh, for years, for years. So first of all, thank everybody for tuning in to the podcast. This is the pilot, and we want to thank TGN for hosting us. Really
For
dope
sure.
place, really dope place, and
Super dope.
really nice atmosphere. Really nice atmosphere. So I'm gonna kick it over to my girl T2.
Nice
T2,
aesthetic.
bring us
Yes.
into the episode.
Well, welcome to the TTD podcast. We're your hosts again. We introduced ourselves. So, the TTTD platform is about wellness. We are two creatives with an appreciation for arts, for the people, for highlighting our mental health, the mental health of others, and just the wellness, and bringing together like-minded individuals as a collective.
That's the main important thing. Like, as art appreciators, it's one thing to appreciate the art, but we want to make sure we're coming together as a community
Mm-hmm.
and making sure we're having those conversations. Like, how can art be useful, and then how can we celebrate it?
Right.
Because we grew up in the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
and then we seen the early 2000s and the early 2010s or 2010s, and we saw how art was just so everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's so nostalgic, but I would love to see art make that turn where we can appreciate it and it be creative and original like it was during those times.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I mean, and art is, therapeutic. Me, I'm a therapist by trade, by education, but it's a lot of avenues that like art isn't really tapped into. So in my field, we do things called like art therapy,
Mhm.
which I don't feel gets as much shine as it should. But
Mhm.
yeah, like we just said, bringing art about. I mean, because what do you do to kind of tap into like your mental health when you're having like a bad day? Do you listen to music? Do you write poetry? What do you do?
When I want to tap into my mental health, like I do all of that you just named. Like
Mhm.
I'll go into my notebook, I'll write out my thoughts. I'm listening to music, and then I have different types of music. So there's
Right.
music that if I really want to feel like higher vibrations, or I want to feel better, I want to up my mood, then I'll put on certain music. But if there's like times where I want to just kind of think, and I'll put on some lo-fi or whatever, something that'll help me stay involved or whatever, engaged. But yeah, I'm gonna kick that question back to you. What do you do?
Yeah, I know it's so much because like I kind of eventually like want to go deeper into that, but with the whole like music vibrations and the I know it might not be like the verbiage right, but like the hertz and like how the frequencies
Yeah.
and how like those are empowered, like change those frequencies back.
Yeah, it's
time
all
ago.
important.
It's all important.
Yeah, so we should
especially to us.
normalize those
Yes, we got
conversations
to.
because there's some
We got
people
to.
that know about it and there's a lot that don't. And they were kind of wondering why our moods or our chemicals are all out of whack.
Yep.
And it's because, as a being, you got all of these things that are pulling at you and things in the atmosphere and the
For sure.
airways. And then you got to know how to help you.
For
You know,
sure.
that's the only way we can get better.
Mhm.
So that's what we want to highlight. It's like those wellness aspects for sure. Like, how can we be well? Because I know for me, it was a period in my life where all I listened to was music that made me sad. And I didn't understand how that was lowering my vibrations. That was lowering, me chemically and everything else. So it started and perpetuated the cycle of just depression. So how can I be mindful of what I'm consuming? Because I'm a product of what I consume. You can
Right.
tell a lot about a person by what they consume, and it's not always food. We are in our minds, we always think, oh, it's just food. And no, it's in which everything, what you hear, you see. So you can tell a lot about a person by what they consume on a day-to-day
sure.
basis.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. But like going back to what you asked me, what do I do? I work with kids all day doing therapy. So for me, I'm gonna take a mental health day. I'm gonna call off of work. I'm gonna go to the beach. I'm gonna listen to music. I'm gonna take time to take care of myself because if I'm not good to myself, how am I gonna be good to the people that's around me? So making sure I'm in check is so important because I never want my ish to rub off on them. And if it does, being accountable, like, yo, I'm sorry. And like I make sure like we have an open, dialogue. Like if I I'm not gonna say mine, but if Miss so and so does something to like offend you or hurt your feelings, please let me know so I can apologize. Like we have to normalize apologizing and accountability. Even if your intent wasn't to offend me or hurt my feelings, you still hurt me. Absolutely. So, you know, just be accountable. That's how we build relationships and rapport with one another. You know?
And to piggyback on that, I think we need to do that more with children in general, because, you know, a parent is that authoritative figure, you know, so usually what the parents say goes. So if a parent is wrong, you're teaching your children to be accountable. You should show them in action by apologizing yourself and not just, you know, you want some McDonald's or get in the car. We're about to go to the store. Like that was my parents' way of apologizing, and it did nothing for me. Like, you know, as a child, you need to be affirmed. You know, that you're a person. You're, even though you're underage and you're being cared for by an adult, you're still a little being, and your feelings matter, and you should see accountability in your home.
Facts.
Because how are we telling these kids to be accountable and the parents are not accountable?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It starts with the top. And then it comes down, but that's a story.
That's another episode.
So don't have the parents coming after me. No, but apologize to your kids, please, because we got a lot of unhealed, traumatized adults who only wanted to hear sorry from their parents. I'm one of them. I was one of them. I started my healing journey, but apologize to your kids and make a difference. Okay, back to what you're saying.
Make a difference, because it's like, all right, we getting off topic, but I just want to say this because a person as adults, they'll know that they owe you an apology, and they will not speak to
stubbornly
you.
Not speak to you
or be avoidant. No.
Yeah.
I still remember.
No, I didn't forget.
No.
And that's where it's like, because being a Christian, right? This is what makes it hard, because the elders love to use this scripture. They weaponize it. Right. Honor your mother and father, that your days be long. That doesn't mean take abuse. Come on now, we got to take them to church. That don't mean accept their abuse.
Right.
Because it also says for parents to not provoke your children to wrath. So if we're going to pull one side of the word up, we're going to have to hold them both up and examine it. You cannot provoke your children and then expect them to honor you. You cannot dishonor your children and expect them to honor you. It's all in your example, period.
Okay, Preacher T.
Okay.
I mean, I'm on winter vacation, but what is today? Is it Sunday or is it Thursday?
You can go ahead and send your tithes and offerings on over.
Right.
No.
Let's pay for this.
No, it's okay. Look for the next year. This the pilot. If you want to pay for the full season, you can go ahead and send your tithes and offerings over to this storehouse as soon as you can. So let's kick it back over to the next thing. We were really talking about music and the benefits of therapy and art. And there is a lot of benefits there.
Yeah.
So my question to you.
But wait, T. Okay. What? I know. I apologize.
No, go ahead.
For cutting you off, because we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
But we got to kind of give them like a little background. Like,
okay.
How you know me, fool? Where you from?
Oh, I'm from LA. Born and raised. Born and raised. I know Ty from high school. We went to high school together. King Drew class of 07.
07.
And you was just always about your business. You know what I mean? Even then, like you was one of those students, like I always see you was getting your study on. You would speak to us. You know, you was like, hey, you know, good to see y'all or whatever. But you was not playing. Like you was not playing about your grades. You were serious. Now I wasn't serious, but you were watching you. It encouraged me. Just wanted you to know that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's how we met in high school. And it's always been good. It's always been love.
Energy, yeah.
Always been love. Yeah.
For sure. And I could say the same thing. Like, you was about your stuff. You was a damn full class clown. You got class clown for the senior vote, but always laughed. Yeah, definitely. High school, we weren't in the same homerooms because my last name starts with an F, yours with an R, but still, like, you know, crossing those paths. And I just always knew. I'm like, T gonna be either like a somewhere in the entertainment field, like making people feel joyous and happy, and you know, like you and Rob Leon.
Rest in peace, Rob Leon.
R.I.P. Who that
rest in peace.
That hurts.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But yeah, like, and that's another conversation too. Like you said, like me, you know, always being about my stuff. Yeah, it's about my stuff. You know, still, you know, turned up, but me being so much about my stuff, being an overachiever, like now I'm an adult with anxiety. Like if stuff isn't, I wouldn't say perfect, but if I fail even just a little bit, and I'm trying to get out of like using the word fail, but if I mess up even just a little bit, I'm just like off.
You in
So
shambles.
I'm in shambles. So like I'm learning to like give myself more grace. Like, no, this is your time to kind of mess up. And it's dope. Like I love this new generation, and I love being able to pour into them, because even when I'm in a classroom, I teach them like it's okay to make. I don't want them to grow up like the way I did, where it's like you have to be perfect. No, like mistakes help you learn.
Yeah.
So say I'm giving a lesson or doing something with them, and I messed up. It's like, I'm just saying my last name because
you good?
They like, Miss Fields. And I'm like, I know, yeah. They like, it's okay. Like mistakes help you learn. And I tell them that too. Like, it's okay that you did not solve this math problem correctly. It's okay that you misspelled this word. Mistakes help you learn. How you don't know what you don't know.
That's true. That's a fact.
So just giving yourself grace. But I had to highlight that because it's like, man, like I'm really struggling to get out of that overachiever thing.
So what do you do? Like, now that you pointed it out, right, which is a good thing that you know, what do you do now to change the course of direction?
Man, if it don't get done, it don't get done. Like, I can only do so much. If it doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. And if I mess up, I mess up. Like I'm going back for another degree. So it's like, all right, you don't necessarily have to get a 4.0. Just get your stuff and move on with your life. And I'm okay with that because just give me the degree. Yeah, just give me the degree.
They don't ask you for the grades. You know what I mean? Like the grades are great so you can get the certifications, so you pass all your classes. But they're not gonna sit there and be like, okay, you got this degree. Where your transcripts at? Like, show me your grades.
Right. That's fact. That's fact.
So hopefully that helps. That helps with that.
Yeah, I mean? But I know it's like a lot of probably other adults too that like grew up, having to be like the overachiever, or like had such high expectations placed on them. So when they don't meet certain things as an adult, it's like you feel like you're failing. It's like you're not failing, you're learning. So that's a daily thing.
I like that. And I like that you were teaching that in your class, because it's already a lot of pressure with math in itself. Like I could never get math. And every teacher I had was just like, this is it. And if you don't get it, you fail. But hearing like, if you make a mistake, it's okay, but let's work towards the solution. Having that kind of energy coming from your teacher, like that is going to go a long way.
Even like, I know we getting off topic, we gotta hop back on, but like even with going back to like English, like English was my thing. Like I love to write poetry, love to read. So even with my EL students, my English learning students, we grew up in LA. So I may not be fluent in Spanish, but I know Spanglish. So they might explain something to me like, pero Miss Fields, pero no. And it's like, okay, giving them that liberty to speak, but still like acknowledging our culture, like Ebonics, like it's great and it's cool to enunciate your words, but kind of like let them know, kind of code switch. So it's okay if you want to say ain't, but it isn't, but still, teaching them the proper language.
So you're giving them room to be themselves while still educating them at the same time. And that is important, because education in and of itself is intimidating, and these kids have so much that they're learning. So they need that room. So, hey, I'm all for that. Yeah. So what's up next?
All right. So where are we now? Post them plaid and yellow uniforms. Post them school buses, them school lunches, the quad, getting crunk. Basketball games.
Yeah. Aside from that, where are we?
Where are we today?
Present day. I am learning and healing.
Learning and healing.
That's where I am. I'm learning and healing, and I put emphasis on that healing part because I've learned a lot of lessons, but I didn't realize how much I needed to heal until I continued down certain patterns that weren't the healthiest things for me. They were dysfunctional. Sometimes it's not always people. Sometimes it's you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like I was noticing, I keep attracting the same type of person.
Ooh, talk to me offline.
It's like I keep talking this same person. I keep attracting, and it says more about me than it does them.
Yep, it does.
You know what I mean? Because you attract at the level you are. So I said, okay, maybe I put a pause on this, and I fall back until I can stop attracting unhealed people. Like I keep attracting unhealed people. Obviously, I too am unhealed.
And you know what? Like, we're gonna talk because it's also it goes into like your attachment style based on like your parents.
Yep.
You know, so if you had a avoiding a parent or an anxious parent, you know, so that kind of goes into you and like the type of partners you
gravitate towards.
You'll gravitate towards. So yeah, we gonna tap into that.
So once I start saying, I said, "Oh, hold on, like, like let me unpack some things."
Yeah, it's like this. Was this joke online from another therapist, and it's like, tell me, like, line up your last 5 exes, and then I could tell you what your mental illness is.
Jesus.
When I heard that, I was like, well, damn.
Okay. Oh, you gonna do me like that, Miss Therapist lady?
And I examined it too. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Because it's the truth. Like, you can really tell a lot, you know, by the attachments and bonds that we form. And sometimes in our process of being unhealed, we form trauma bonds. So we got all these attachments to people who are traumatized, and we're traumatized. And everybody's traumatized, but we're not getting well. And that was my objective for 2023. Just so keep it a buck. I'm saying it now, is to get well.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you accountable. Please. Too. No, for sure.
No, seriously, I need you to.
For sure.
Now I'm about to kick this question your way.
All right.
Because where are you now?
Me, I'm always healing. Like, I tell this to everybody, we're going to be healing until the day we're 6 feet under. Healing is infinite. You know, you're always going to be healing from something. Something is going to resurface. It's just how you address it. So me, I'm healing and I'm growing. Like, I'm giving myself like a lot more grace. Like, I know that's like, girl, you're too damn hard on yourself, and like, you doing pretty okay to be that damn hard on yourself. Chillax. Yeah. You know, so
I think you're doing fine.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You got your mind.
Yeah. That's most important.
You know, that's good.
That's most important.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
most important.
You got your freedom?
For sure.
Your independence?
I am. Don't play with me.
Because, okay, Liz, looking up from here. All right, so we know where we are now. Where are we next?
So now we're going to go into my segment.
Let's do it.
I don't have any tequila, but TWT, Twisted with Ty.
Let's
so
do it.
I'll give you a couple words.
Okay.
I'm such a huge music fanatic. Like, I really am. Props to my pops for, you know.
Shout out to Ty's pops for putting her on.
You know, props to my pops and my uncles, you know, being raised around a lot of music. All right, so like I said, I love Drink Champs. I love just music. I love the culture of music. So I'm going to give you a word.
Okay.
And you OG, so you only got like 5 seconds. I'm gonna give you 5. I'm gonna give you 5.
Okay.
5 words. You have to either rap or sing a song with that lyric.
Okay.
First one, love.
So many people use your name.
Okay, with the soul child. All right. Let's see. Bad.
My chick bad. My chick.
Okay,
hood.
you better come
my
on.
chick do stuff like my chick.
Okay, we gonna do day.
A lovely day.
All right, you giving me a run for my money.
Come on, I'm in the building.
I'm gonna give you something harder. Let's see. I'm looking in this room.
She
looking in this room. Mike.
Wait.
Oh, you are right. Thank you.
I got a light-skinned friend look like Michael Jackson. Got a light-skinned friend.
Okay,
look like
to be more specific, Mike, M-I-C.
Oh, it's Freeway in the place to be. See, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Yeah, still watch what you say to me. Go on in.
I'm like, mic check. 1 2 1 2. I'm like, come on.
Okay, I recovered.
Let's see. Okay, you recovered. Let me give you one more.
Okay.
See, a water bottle. Water.
I wish I was 40. I wish I was water. I wish I was 40. I wish I was water. Water.
All right. One more. Lights.
All of the lights. All of the lights. All of the lights.
All right. I thought you was gonna hit me with Kanye flashing.
That was next.
Flashlight.
That too.
Parliament.
That was on there as
All
well.
right, come on.
Yeah, but you said I had 5 seconds. I wanted to make sure I was prompt.
All right.
I just
You
have
were
to be
slipping
prompt.
in the beginning.
All right. We recovered.
All right. So we're gonna switch to topic number 2.
Topic number 2. So topic number 2 is going to be a word for the community. And basically, we want to highlight just community resources, just community needs and topics with this one. So recently, I was letting Ty know I had went through a bout of homelessness myself. So I had to go through the proper channels of like contacting 211, looking for homeless resources and things like that. And I'm not ashamed by what I went through. Like it was crap. Don't get me wrong. Like I had got scammed.
Mm-hmm.
I got fired, scammed, taken advantage of by this guy online all in like 1 week. And I'm not one of those people that just hands money out. Like this guy was legit. Like he upped the ante on scamming. He had paperwork and he looked really legit. So I had to go through this thing of like, yo, I got to make a decision right now. Like, and things are happening. I cannot sit and cry about it.
Right.
I did have my moments though. Like I was weeping. Don't get me wrong. Like I had a couple of days where I think I cried myself to sleep. But then it was like, you got to do something now. I had to get it out. You had to get it out.
Yeah.
But after I got it out, I was like, okay, now you need somewhere to stay. Like, what are you going to do? So I called 211. I let them know what was up. And y'all, like, they seriously do have resources. So if you know anyone who is experiencing homelessness, or if they need food, if they need transportation, whatever the need is, please encourage them to reach out to 211. Not only did they give me a hotel voucher for 2 nights, they actually lifted me from my location to the motel. So they work with you. And again, this is if it's needed. So for where I am now, like I have temporary housing. Like I'm good, y'all. Don't be panicking. I got family and stuff who will probably be calling like, why you didn't call me
on this show?
Why you doing that? Look, this is my story.
Yeah, that's your testimony.
And I'm overcome by the power of my testimony. I'm not going to lie about where I'm at. That's what happened. It was a series of unfortunate events and I still had to figure it out, still push through because at the end of the day, the purpose was the most important thing, not the trial. So that's how we are here. I couldn't cry about it. I had to go through the whole process. But I thank God, I have somewhere to stay now and to God be the glory. I'm not on the streets. I have shelter. I didn't spend Christmas in the rain or anything like that. Like he's been abundant. So I'm grateful. But we want to highlight that because there are people who are suffering in silence. If you are homeless, if you're facing eviction, if you're facing potential homelessness, make sure you do reach out to your community resources and they do have help. Sometimes it may not always be immediate, but if you do contact them, they do follow up. So I just want to highlight that for sure.
Yeah. And like really quickly, like I know like a lot of people say, because you're a strong friend. So like I'll check on you and then like even though you're from LA, you moved out the city to move back. So that was a different transition. Because I remember when we met up before, you were telling me like, Ty, okay, I'm about to move back down. I got this situated. So for you to have told me that, like, I was like, dang, like, But another thing I want to highlight, because, I take my social media breaks, but like, I saw the passing of Twitch, RIP, like mental health, your wellness is real. And a lot of people were saying like, make sure you check on your strong friends. Make sure
please.
Because I'm considered like I'm a strong friend. I'm a strong friend, but tap myself strong friend. You have to be honest when people ask you how you're doing.
Yeah.
You have to be honest in telling people how you are doing.
Yes,
like it's not only on your community; it's on you too to like say, look, man, like I'm drowning. And I need you to pull me up. So, because like a lot of people will, beat themselves up, like feeling like they didn't do enough. And it's like, you probably did enough, but it's a two-way street. Like, even with you, like, it's like, all right, what you need. You can't be like, nah, I'm good. You gotta be like, look, Ty, I need you to go to the grocery store. I need you to cook me up some meals. It has to be honest.
You gotta swallow the pride.
Yeah, you gotta, or just swallow the fear of not being okay. It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah. Wow, like thank you, because
it's okay not to be
I have been like my whole life I have been trying to prove to everybody how okay I was, but I was not okay. You know what I mean? So now that I'm being honest about where I am, I'm able to really see some growth there. But this is what this is about. Like we want to be able to see not only growth within ourselves but in our communities.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's also highlight mental health, because that is so important. First, we talk about all of those expectations that are put on you to get straight A's in school or not come home or whatever it is, and we keep compiling that as adults, and we keep living with that. And we never really check in with ourselves to evaluate, you know, to do a social check with yourself. Like, let me do a temperature check with me. How am I feeling?
Oh, for sure.
What's wrong with me today? Like, you know,
for sure.
What will get me through this?
Like, one thing I say, and I tell my friends, I'm like, check on yourself as much as you check in social media and all these other platforms. Like, put the phone down. Like, that's social media.
Correct.
It's real, but it's not.
No, it's not real.
Like, check on yourself.
Yeah.
Check on yourself. You're putting out there what you want people to see, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Like, you're creating an image of what you want to be seen.
Correct.
Like I said, again, whether it's good or bad, you're creating.
Correct.
You're creating that image. So thank you for your transparency.
No, and thank you for yours. This is why we get here. No, you gotta be honest.
You gotta be
honest.
I'm
sick and tired of people acting like they're fine and everybody got it. And if you ain't got money, you ain't a baller. You ain't got no value to you. Fuck that. Excuse my French, but I'm just tired of it. You know what I mean? Because we're at a point where people need to be real. People are struggling. People are drowning and they need help. They want solutions. They want real people to have real conversations. So if you looking for people to sit here and act like we got it all, this is not the podcast. But if you want some people who's being honest about where they are, this is the place.
Yeah, most definitely. And I know like a lot of people are just like set on chasing the bag. The bag is not going to bring you peace. A bag is not going to, bring you happiness. Like, you have to find that within yourself and within the people around you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So money is not
it shouldn't be the focus.
It shouldn't be the focus.
The purpose should be the focus.
The purpose should be the focus.
And we'll tap more into purpose and focusing on what really matters, like in upcoming episodes. But we really do hope you guys enjoyed the pilot.
Yeah, for
Me and Ty, did you have a good time?
I had a great time. I loved it. I love this, open discussion, like, and including music and art within, like, developing our mental health. Like, okay, so as we close, like, what's a song or an album that's gotten you through this year?
I gotta say, Fred Hammond's "I Want to Be Yours" is it's gospel, but it's what got me. That and Dear Silas, I Ain't Stressing Today.
Okay, I love it. For me, the entire Mr. Morale.
Oh, stop it! Really?
That's in heavy rotation for me. Like every week, it's every song is like it's hitting for me. So, like, yeah, that's definitely.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's a big album.
Yeah,
it is.
It is.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all for tuning in to the Two T's in the Pod podcast. We want to thank you again, TGN Network, for having us. Stay tuned for more episodes 2023. We are in the building.